conference and welcome the guest of honor.
Good morning to everyone. Today, Dhananjayrao Gadgil College of Commerce has organized a very beautiful academic exercise, that is international conference. The title of the conference is Research Excellence in Commerce, Management and Economics. This conference is organized in knowledge partnership with Shivaji University Commerce and Management Teachers Association, Bahai Academy Panchgani, Dr. Patangrao Kadam Mahavidyalaya Sangli. It's my immense pleasure to welcome all the resource persons, chairpersons, foreign and Indian delegates. I also welcome Dr. V.S. Shivankar sir, Secretary of Shikshan Sanstha Satara. Because of time schedule, he is not now present. Also, I welcome our beloved principal as well as disciplined principal, Dr. Ba Kamble Sahib. Today's inaugural function as well as keynote address, keynote speaker, Dr. A.M. Guru from HOD Shivaji University Commerce and Management Department. Also, I welcome Principal Dr. R.S. Salunke, President of Shivaji University Commerce and Management Teachers Association. I also welcome Dr. Uday Kumar Shinde, Secretary of Shivaji University Commerce and Management Teachers Association. Also, all executive committee members of Sukomata, Dr. Lesan Azadi, Director of Bahi Academy, Panchgani. He is going to conduct first session. Also, I welcome here Professor Dr. S.N. Boradi sir from Dr. Patangrao Kadam Mahavidyalaya Sangli. I also welcome in this function Secretary of this conference, Dr. T.D. Mahanovar sir. Also, Conference Coordinator Dr. V.M. Kumbar sir, and all teaching and administrative staff of Dhananjayrao Gadgil College of Commerce, Satara. We are going to conduct this conference by 6 components. First component is called as inaugural and keynote address, and there will be 4 technical sessions and valedictory function. I am happy to say that we have received a very huge response from India as well as abroad. We have received 165 papers from the different parts of India as well as from foreign countries, of which we are going to publish here 134 research papers, and that is UGC in UGC Care List journal called as Education and Society. Also, paper presentation will be held in 3 sessions, in 3 places that will be declared later on. For this conference, we invited Dr. Azadi sir from Panchgani, Dr. Liton Mohali from Bangladesh, Dr. Ethelbert Dapiton from Philippines. We have received research papers from Iran, Oman, Bahrain, Delhi, West Bengal, Punjab, Karnataka and Maharashtra. In this conference, delegates involved from Iran, Iraq, Bangladesh, Philippines, Bahrain, Oman and India. I am happy to mention names of certain delegates who are present here over, like Hamid Abdul Asim, Ministry of Education, Sultanate Oman, Poria Malhai, Adib University of Sari Sari, province, Iran. Meher Karim from Iraq. Rad from Iraq. Haider Karim from Iraq. Ahmad Qasim from Iraq. Muhammad from Iraq. Yamini from Iran. And Vignesh Yamini also from Iran. I would like to introduce here key speaker of this function, Dr. A.M. Gurav. All of you know that he is very good orator as well as academician and researcher. Dr. Gurav got 3 times Best Teacher Award from Shivaji University, Kolhapur. Also, he got Best Teacher Award from Government of Maharashtra. Under his able supervision, 15 candidates completed PhD and 8 candidates completed MPhil. He is good organizer as well as coordinator of various activities. Because of certain kind of assistance given to us, we are in that position. So I welcome Dr. Gurav sir, speaker, keynote speaker. I also welcome to all delegates from foreign countries as well as from our country. I would like to mention that here Dr. Sarang Bola, head of chairman of Board of Studies Management, is present here. I welcome on this occasion, and all the participants. I would like to say that what is the research? Very simple, in very simple manner. Research means finding an answer to a question. So in this regard, research is carried for promotion of social welfare. Research starts with question in the mind of the researcher. Gathering or compilation of information is not research. Research is a fact-finding process. Research requires courage. Research may be either innovation, research may be discovery, research may be an inquiry. The obvious function of research is to add new knowledge to the existing store as well as to remove the misconceptions. Research report may be described as the tangible outcome of research investigation. Research helps to solve many complex problems faced by the business, society, and economy. Research plays significant role in human progress. The focus of this conference is excellence. Excellence is the performance that is qualitatively and positively superior to satisfactory. Research excellence involves outstanding originality, work that has inspired others and affected the research agenda, competitive grant winning, external recognition of the research quality. So again, I welcome to all of us, and I am concluding is my introductory speech here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your introduction. May I now request Honorable Principal Dr. Bai Kamre sir to felicitate and welcome the keynote addresser of today's inaugural function, Honorable Professor Dr. A.M. Gurav sir, who is the head of Department of Commerce and Management, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. Further, I request Principal sir to also welcome and felicitate Honorable Vijay Mane sir. Again, it's a request to Honorable Principal sir to welcome Honorable Dr. R.S. Salunkhe sir. Thank you, sir. May I now request Professor Dr. V.K. Sawant sir to felicitate Honorable Principal Dr. Bai Kamre sir. Thank you, sir. May I now request all the dignitaries to unwrap the proceeding of the conference and declare the inauguration of this conference.
Journal of the conference.
Journal. Inauguration of unwrap the journal of the conference.
Please. Please come. Sir, come. Please. International delegates, please. Come here. Come.
The International Conference General is unwrapped by the international delegates and dignitaries on the dais.
Thank you all. May I request Dr. T.D. Mahanwar, sir, to welcome the delegates of the dais. Thank you, sir. May I now request keynote addresser of today's inaugural function, Honorable Professor Dr. A.M. Guru, sir, Head of Department of Commerce and Management, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, to remark his views on today's international conference.
Very good morning to one and all. Respected dignitaries on the dais, of the dais, dear participants and friends. At the outset, I'm congratulating the principal as well as his team for selection of appropriate topic in this present era, research excellence in commerce management and economics. They also deserve for appreciation. The college got very tremendous response, about 165 plus papers. And they have published at this occasion with 130 research papers in 2 volumes, along with UGC Care List journal. The main theme has covered with 24 sub-themes. Considering these all theme as well as sub-themes, I'm going to address research excellency in commerce management and economics. I will take 15 minutes. I will not take much of your time, although I prepared my material is about more than 2 hours. Friends, excellency in a research is the backbone of development of any economy, any nation, any an individual. And if we are interested to bring the excellency, good performance, vibrations, we have to follow excellent research. Excellency in research is required for sustainable development. Development for longer period, because life is a research from birth to death. And God is a driver of our life. And in this journey, we have to do very excellent research for our own development as well as development of the nation and society too, all stakeholders too. Research is nothing but take part for better performance. And only 2 words are there. If you want to sustain, if you want to survive, if you want to develop, in Hindi, bhag lo. Take part, bhag lo means, or bhag lo means run away. We have to decide. And for research excellency, we have to take part. And that's why life is a research. And for good research, effective research is very, very essential. Applied research is very, very required. Because research is for lifetime. Research is equal to out of the box thinking. How we are thinking? Take it an example. the principal of Commerce College is from the subject political science. Because, no, I'm not saying, sir, a lot of politics is there in commerce and management. But what I'm saying, what I want to say, what I want to emphasize, when another faculty person is taking the charge, he can do good amount of contribution, good amount of research, good amount of out-of-box thinking, and that is required. My dear friends, I'm a beginner in research. Think about the psychology and management, the blended research, and that will be the effective research. There are 2-3 foreign students, researchers. They are doing their research in psychology. And as per my reference, my reading, about 30% USA people are suffering regarding the psychological problems. I used to visit in industries in Maharashtra, Karnataka and Goa state. And lot of issues are there. Their requirement is industrial psychology. Research excellency. Being a student of commerce and management, simply I'm thinking about banking, simply I'm thinking about portfolio, simply I'm thinking about working capital, simply I'm thinking about the ratio, it will not work. This is my personal opinion. Because research is a out-of-box thinking. And in this out-of-box thinking, we should not follow hypothesized worries-based problem. We should consider the hypothesis on the basis of field work. In research excellence, applied research is very much essential. And sorry to say from this platform that myself, I'm least bothered about applied research. Take it an example of Karmavir Anna, 1919. He started research for education, started collection of the young blood students from different places and started the hostel. He was conducted research for upliftment of the society. Started a business career by Karmavir Bhaurao Patil to sell lamp and plough as a dealer distributor of Kirloskar. When he got the message, the Kirloskar charging little bit higher and taking more amount of profit, he discontinued that and decided, I will start the educational institution, I will educate the masses. This is the out-of-box thinking. It is nothing but excellence by way of research. Then he started school at Kale and then Shivaji College as the first college, and at present more than 450 schools and 48 plus colleges. Friends, when anybody is doing out of the thinking, out of the box thinking, he is marching towards the excellence. And that's why, again, I want to appreciate the team of principal. Very nice topic had selected. Sir, very less number of people are interested to speak on the research. I already made a statement, research is the backbone of development, development of individual and development of the nation. I'm appealing to the international delegates as well as my country participants. If you want to take ahead your country, your economy, not only that, yourself, you have to involve in the research. Because in a research, there is a logical relationship. Cause and effect relationship. In the subject management, we studied fishbone diagram. What is the cause and what is the effect? For research excellence, model development is required. Myself and with the help of my research students, which models I have developed, applied models I have developed, I converted these all models into a small book. And the researchers as well as the industrial peoples are using that all research based models. For example, I did my third PhD on wastage of hotel food, prepared food. I developed one model, sensor based applied research model. As soon as customer entered in the hotel, he will be measured, he will be sensed, his height, gender, walking style, weight, his behavior, his body language, and some parameters have developed. As soon as he occupied the chair on the dining table, when he is placing the order, maybe respected principal Mane sir placing an order, 4 rotis, suppose Mane sir, 2 plates of vegetable, this and that, total quantity may be 1 kg. And as per that sensor based model, standard may be 500 grams. So when the waiter will serve the edible items, food, he will serve only 500 grams and one sheet will come. On that sheet, it is written, sir, your consumption capacity is 500. You are not going to consume remaining 500. We are ready to pack it and hand over to you this remaining 500. You have to pay 100% charges, but you will not be allowed to waste in the dish. This is the research application. My dear participants, when we are talking about the research excellency, how we are doing the applied research, which is useful to the society. We are in the era of 4.0, fourth generation of opportunities. And in this fourth generation of opportunities, research, excellent research, need-based research, applied research, useful research is required. We have to check ourselves. What research we are doing or going to do, whether that research is useful to the masses, useful to the society, useful to the betterment of the poor and poor persons in the nation. And that excellence in research is required. I will not touch the definitions of research. But research is equal to art of scientific investigation. And when we are doing a scientific investigation, this scientific investigation at every moment we have to do. Because every moment is a right time to do the research. When I was traveling, I did. when I am taking my refreshment, one plant is there, very nicely colorful thermocol rounds are tagged there, sticked there. How we are observing? So every moment is the right moment for doing the research, which research is useful for the society. For excellent research, how we are going to complete our PhD? How we are preparing the planning for writing the research paper? Dear friends, for excellent research, we have to collect drop by drop, then only we can able to do good amount of research. Research is nothing but a systematic investigation. If you refer the management guru, Emerson, 1853 to 1931, he contributed time and motion study, applied research. In a construction business, when the workers are putting the bricks for construction purpose, how the movements are going on, how to minimize the labor efforts. And Emerson has developed a very nice model with time and motion. And word is using. We students of commerce and management continuously using his contribution. That's why research is a continuous process, and when we are keeping ourselves, involving ourselves in this continuous process, then definitely very good amount of commerce, management and economics will help for sustainable development. If you refer, once upon a time in India, Bajaj scooter was very famous. Rajadut was there. Yazdi motorcycle were there. Ambassador car was there. And only Fiat car was there. And one more Jeep, name of that Jeep was 540. In our old golden days, about 30 years back, only such a type of 4-5 two-wheelers and four-wheelers varieties were there. Only 1 or 2 companies were there. If you take the name, in this modern era, hundreds and different type of varieties of two-wheelers and four-wheelers are there. Why I'm telling this, how the research is going on and what we are contributing. Dear friends, success or failure is 100% depend on research. This is my personal view. You take it an example, success in a marriage life is depend upon the research. Savan sir, correct or wrong? I will not ask the answer. This is my personal opinion. Success or failure of the business is depend upon the research. Tata Nano has introduced, depend upon the research. Satay biscuit, once upon a time it was very famous biscuits. About 60% of the market was captured by this biscuit, but where it is right now? Amazon, Microsoft, not only that, one of the value-based institution, Bahi Academy, how they are, not only that in Satara, one of the Parle biscuit manufacturing center, Parle group is working here, how they are doing and how they are successful. It is because of research. Dear friends, time is limitation for me. if you refer regarding the outcome of research excellency, F.W. Taylor, his tenure was 1856 to 1950. He conducted a micro study. In his studies, 75 employees loads 12.5 tons of steel. After his study, one employee able to load 47.7 tons of steel, and it was 4 times more than of 75 employees. This type of research is required. But what is the situation in this present era? I will comment on that and I will stop because I am consuming more time. Dear friends, research excellence is a continuous process, because every minute, every place, every moment, every friendship and every problem, research is required. Research is there, and we have to bring the excellence in research. But what is the present situation? 8th standard to 12th standard. This is my talk is based on my personal opinion. Don't generalize, please. 8th standard to 12th standard projects, mother's work, father's pocket, and shopkeeper's earning. Because mother is doing son or daughter's project, father is paying money for that, and that shopkeeper is selling the material. For BBA, BCA, I am talking about the commerce projects. Father pays and typewriter earns. My personal opinion. And who are here, they are all are good. They are not coming under this category. For MCOM, MBA projects, 50 days MBA project, enjoying the company with subsidized food in the canteen. Bhola sir is laughing. MPhil and PhD thesis to enter into service. Participation in the conference, increasing the API score. And publication in journals, sir, for promotion. My question to me, where is excellence in research? I'm not denying it is necessary, it is a part and parcel of life. Dear friends, we should think in a broader perspectives. We should have used the innovations, jugaad, different type of out of the box things, then only the research is possible. Research is everywhere, every time. I will tell one story in a minute and I will stop. In a family, there was a father and son. Father has 200 years wall clock, very old. Father asked the son, my dear son, excellence in research, I'm talking. Father asked the son, my dear son, go to the market and try to sell this old wall clock. Condition is, you have to get as much as extra money. If you are unable to get, come back, ask me, I will give the next clue. Then son went first time to the scrap purchaser. And that son shown that old wall clock to the scrap purchaser, asked him to price it. Scrap purchaser quoted 20 rupees. He came back, narrated the story to the father. Father asked to the son, my dear son, Right now you go to the jeweler and ask him to purchase it. Son went to the jeweler, asked that jeweler to purchase it, buy it. Jeweler quoted the price for this 200 rupees. Again, that boy came back, narrated the story to the father. Father again asked that son, my dear son, right now you third time you go to the museum fellow and asked to buy him. He went, shown that old wall clock. That museum person, museum owner, quoted the price 2 lakhs rupees. 20 rupees to 200, 200 to 2 lakhs. Moral of this story is, friends, go right place for right value. That is the excellent research. If we are going wrong place at wrong time, we will get hunted. We should not do this. With this brief remark, I'm very much thankful to the organizer and I'm thankful to the audience. Don't take it any statement personally. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom. May I now request Honorable Principal Dr. Bal Kamre sir to remark his presidential address towards today's inaugural function.
Good morning to everyone. Today's keynote address speaker of this conference, Honorable Professor Dr. A.M. Gurav, who is working as head of the department, Commerce and Management, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. Principal Dr. Arya Saunke, Principal Dr. Vijay Mane, Dr. Borude, Dr. Bhola, Dr. Publisher Professor Shinde, Dr. Sawan, Dr. Mahanavar, Dr. Kumbar from our college, delegates international level, that is Iran, Iraq, Bahrain, Oman also. International students are present on this occasion. Today, Dhananjayrao Gadgil College of Commerce has organized an international conference on research excellence in commerce, management, and economics. On this occasion, on behalf of Shikshan Sanstha, Satara, and on behalf of Dhananjayrao Gadgil College of Commerce, I welcome all of you. Actually, Shikshan Sanstha was founded by Padma Bhushan Dr. Karmur Bhaurao Patil in the year 1919. He did massification of education, starting schools and colleges at rural and remote area of Maharashtra. Now, Rayat Shikshan Sanstha is the biggest educational institution in India and ASEAN continent. Now we have 43 higher education institutions, that is the colleges, imparting higher education of our Sanstha. Today, Sanstha is giving digital education, professional courses, skill-based courses to students. Also, Sanstha made proper work in research field, especially in science, commerce, and arts. But I am focuses the establishing CIII centers for invention, innovation, incubation for boosting research in science faculty. Dhananjayrao Gadgil College of Commerce is the first autonomous college of Shikshan Sanstha, which is affiliated to University, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. This college, Dhananjayrao Gadgil College of Commerce, which is established in the year 1971. This college is re-accredited in the third cycle with A+ grade by NAC having 3.61 CGPA. UGC gave CP College for potential excellent status and Paramas status also. Also, this college is funded by Rashtriya Uchchastar Shikshan Abhiyan funds. Our college has its own PhD center for commerce and economics. What is the distinctiveness of our college? important activity which is identified of our college, and that is the existence of prominent IBS training center, which has increased placements in several banks and corporate sector. Especially college is known for best placement in this area. So this is the 11th international conference of our college. Today we have organized in this hall. Also, I wanted to talk about e-commerce. I was referring some observations when I was referring the various research papers published, the research papers published in commerce and e-commerce area. So I found e-commerce is the born in modern business. E-commerce mean electronic, the commerce. Actually, it involves buying and selling goods and services. Now, this topic is recently open for research in e-commerce at global level. Any researcher to search opportunities for e-commerce, this type of international conference would be possible to acquainted with theory and practical outlook of that subject. This conference aims to bring innovation, ideas for excellence in research, especially in commerce management and economics, which is providing a platform for exchanging the research ideas at global level. So Dr. Gurav sir was giving proper meaning, proper information regarding research excellence. He talked about research excellence. Life is a research. Effective and applied research is very important. Research is out of box thinking. Several examples he has given. Proper example which is placed by him of Karmay Bhaurav Patil, his work and his development in the field of education. And he was insisting research is the backbone of development. I insist here, research is the backbone of teaching. You insist the development. I insist here the research is the backbone of teaching. If teacher is related applied research and practical theoretical research, it is possible that it will convey to our students and it will be grateful. It will be a developed manner. This is my opinion, because I am a student of politics and public administration. You talk about I am a student of politics, but I am a student of public administration also. I know the management theories. I know the what is meant by administration. I know very well what is meant by management. In administration, there is a certain goal, and there is a system which help for getting a particular goal in a particular specific period. But management, the word which is very important, the work is done by others. And role of principal is, because Manesh sir is there and Saunke sir is there, no one principal is sitting in front of me. Principals are sitting on the dais. This is a very important thing, sir. Yeah. So that is the real story I'm telling you. And you talk about one sentence. I got it. You given several examples regarding this. Where is the excellence in research? Where is the excellence? And you talk about the different things right now. I think it is useful for today. I'm very glad hearing your thought. Though you within 15 minutes you are given your thought, you are given your thinking regarding research, excellence in research. It was good, and it is an interdisciplinary, also multidisciplinary, also right now coming in transdisciplinary level. So this is very important thing just I today observed. And again, I'm giving wish all of you. I wish and enjoyed today's session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening words. At the end of inaugural function, may I now request Dr. S.V. Yadav, sir, Faculty of Department of Commerce and Management, to propose the vote of thanks of today's inaugural function.
Shikshan Sanstha, Dhananjayrao, Gadgil, College of Commerce. Today, our college organizing one-day international level conference in blended mode on research excellence in commerce, management, and economics under USA. On the behalf of the inaugural function, I'm here to propose the vote of thanks. First upon, I would like to thank Principal Dr. Vittal Sevankar sir, Secretary Rayat Shikshan Sanstha Satara. Also, I thanks Honorable Professor Dr. A.M. Gurov sir. He is a Dean and head the Department of Commerce and Management. Sir presented on the research excellency. He said the research is the backbone of our Indian economy. Research helps for development of the individual. Research helps for society, and given a good example toward the research era. So on the behalf of our college, I thanks Professor A.M. Gurov sir. Also, I thanks our dynamic principal, Dr. Balkamble Sahib. He is belong from public administration and political science for his kind experience and views. He enlightened various aspects, those which will be beneficial for us, inculcating for several and very important knowledge. Also, I thanks the convener of today's international conference, Professor Dr. V.K. Samant sir. I thanks to all the foreign delegates, research gurus and guides, various professors from different colleges, research students, and various college principals. So, at the kind permission of the president of today's inaugural function of international conference, I am here to declare that this inaugural function is over now. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Dear participants, we are about to begin with the first technical session shortly. For this session, we have guest of honor, Honorable Principal Dr. Lateral Azadi sir, Honorable Dr. Sarangbola sir as the chairperson, may I now request Professor Dr. G.V. Zadav sir, IQAC coordinator, to introduce the first technical session and welcome both the guest of honor and chairperson.
Good morning, one and all. It's my privilege to introduce Honorable Dr. Lateral Azadi sir, who is engineer by profession and who has completed his engineering degree from NIT Rourkela. He has completed his post-graduation degree in sustainable development from Staffordshire University, United Kingdom. He has got the Commonwealth Scholarship Award from the same university. Dr. Lateral Azadi has completed his education on the various important aspects like development from rural education, and he has also completed his PhD in education from Savitribai Phule Pune University, Pune. For over 3 decades, he has been working in the field of training and education in faculty training, universal human values, teaching learning methodologies, leadership for change, and many other aspects which are related to the higher education. Dr. Lasan Azadi has conducted extensive educational tours to the 20 other countries in Asia, Africa, and Europe. His contribution for the training of the teachers and faculties is really very noteworthy. Since 1986, he has been the director of the Bahi Academy, Panchgani, which is a recognized institution of Shivaji University, Kolhapur. And this academy has initiated a program of education in universal human values. Friends, Dr. Azadi is also well known for the international collaborations in Colombia, Russia, and Australia also. He has been closely involved with the planning, course design, curriculum development, and its implementation. He has been intimately involved in the establishment and operation of the Indian Consortium of the Educational Transformation. At the same time, he is member of Indian Consortium for the Educational Transformation. He is also well connected with the UNESCO chair in bioethics, Hafia. There are many institutes which are there in the world with which Dr. Lasan Azadi is involved, and he is also well connected with those particular institutes. There are much more things to introduce about Dr. Lasan Azadi, but I will not be any hurdle in between the new speaker of this session. I welcome Dr. Lasan Azadi for this session. At the same time, I also welcome Dr. Sarang Bhula. I also welcome Dr. Sarang Bhula, who is working in Karmivir Bhaurao Patil Institute of Management and Research, Ware. He is also the Board of Studies member in Management, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. And as we are well aware of that, he is well acquainted with us in concern with various lectures on personality development and management skills. So I welcome all the two dignitaries on the dais for this session. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your introduction. May I now request Honorable Vice Principal of the College, Professor Dr. V.K. Sawant, sir, to felicitate and welcome the chief guest of today's first technical session, Honorable Principal Dr. Lasan Azadi, sir. I also request Professor Dr. V.K. Sawant, sir, to felicitate and welcome the chairperson of today's first technical session, Honorable Dr. Sarang Bhula, sir. Thank you. May I now request resource person of first technical session, Honorable Dr. Lasan Azadi, sir, Director, Bhaiya Academy, Panchgani, to guide the participants.
It's still morning. Good morning. Very respected the chairman for the session, all the dear principals present here, all the dear professors, and dear participants. I'm so delighted to be here today on this occasion of the international conference on such an important subject. And I'm sure and I hope that really we all go back from this conference with a more clear vision, with a set of tools, with a new understanding that we can enhance innovation in social sciences. Usually social sciences are given a backseat in academic discussions, scientific discussions. But I'm so happy that in this conference, you have taken all the front seats and the back seats are empty for others to go. So it's good to be in front seat. All right. So let's go to a presentation, and then depending on how much time we will have, 1 hour we'll have. Okay. Okay. That's very good. We are going to have some interaction. Is it all right? Yeah. Okay. Because I believe in interaction rather than one-way traffic. And I hope you all have got some papers with you and pens. All right. So you're going to have some homework. Is okay? That you can, we all will share our understanding with each other so that we can go back with more refreshed, mind. All right, we go to the next slide, please. We are going to discuss today about innovation in social sciences, what of innovation, and why of innovation, and how of innovation. And especially now, today, in year 2022, we are in the 21st century, if I'm not wrong. Am I correct, Dr. Goro, sir? You're more up to date. All right. So what now and what next? So let me first ask a question. What do you understand by innovation? Can I have quite quickly some feedback, friends? What do you understand by innovation? So many hands are up. That's very good. I want one person. Yes, please. Something new. Something new. All right. Very nice. Yes. Anything else? Yes, please. Wow. Very good. You have taken it further. Give birth to novel ideas. Wonderful. Yes. Anything else? Yes, madam. Okay. Converting existing product to something new. Oh, that's very nice. Nice way of looking at it. Anything else? Of course, the word cloud there already says what is innovation. So, but anyway, these are three good answers. Can you just click on there? All right. Yes, summarizing what you said, a new idea or method, or the use of new ideas and methods. So it is new idea, method, or using them. So it's both the conceptual as well as application. All right, let's go. This is what Cambridge, dictionary says. We go ahead to the, yes. Now, what does innovation means in social sciences? Innovation in social sciences. Now, innovation can come in the form of innovation in public policy making. When we say social science, you all know what is social sciences, how vast it is. So it relates to anything that affects society. So when we talk of innovation, we can talk of policy aspect of innovation. We can talk of organizational innovation. We can talk of institutional innovation, social entrepreneurship, to which Dr. Gorov made a small, reference. It goes beyond the context of income generation and innovation with respect to technologies, because normally our mindset, our mind thoughts go to technology. He gave you the example of so many new cars which are there, Industry has really captured our mind. So when we talk innovation, we just think of that. But then what about social innovation? He referred to sustainable development. And when we talk sustainable development, it is economics, it is social, it is environmental. So definitely, innovation in social sciences has got a lot of application for humanity today and tomorrow. And then we need also to redefine what does development mean, So these are the things that we usually think as present, professors of the subject, as future workers of the subject, as those who want to really bring innovation. What does development mean? What should it mean? Because we have gone a little bit off the track when we talk of development. We really have to come back. Yes. Now, how can social science research enrich and inform society? Social science research can enrich and inform society to create the context. All right, the why of it, the context in which policy and technological innovations can flourish. So asking good questions is not very easy, but that is where the change begins. Always starts with the right question. Social sciences, social scientists, understanding of cultural factors, institutional relationships, and power structures are something that can be creative and innovative in as far as social sciences are concerned. Yeah, next one. Now, when we talk of social innovation, it has two meanings in the academic literature. One is creation of new patterns of human interaction. All right, when we talk of pattern, we are going to go back to that again, how our mind creates patterns for everything, which helps it to recognize it. So now creation of new patterns of human interaction, new social structures. We cannot take existing structures for granted. No, if you are talking of sustainable development, if you are talking of transformation of the society, then it is not just individuals who should change, but social structures have to be changed. And it is you who should think about how social structures can be restructured. And new social relations, the power relationships existing, the economic relations, our relationships with the nature, for example. Innovations, that's all right. It's okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Innovations designed. Should I go ahead? Yes. Okay. Innovations designed to address a social or environmental issue or to meet a specific social market failure or need. These are some aspects of what social innovation means. All right. Now, the question comes, why do we need innovation, especially in the social sciences? Now, I was thinking that there is a document of NEP 2020 that we always talk about it, that gives us some clue into what innovation. Suppose, now for all of us, it's very interesting to think about. NEP says, National Education Policy 2020 says, the gap between the current state of learning outcomes and what is desirable must be bridged through undertakings, major reforms to bring the highest quality and integrity into the system from early childhood to higher education. Okay, so now NEP is talking about there is a gap between this present status of learning and what is the desirable outcome of learning. Why it doesn't happen? You know, we write many objectives when we design a curriculum, a syllabus, but why it does not take place? Why it does not happen? Why there is a gap? And we are teaching it day in, day out, year after year. And we are studying it year after year. But still, the gap exists to the extent that it has gone into the national education policy. So this is a big question to ask. There could be many reasons why there is a gap, and we are going to discuss about it a little later. So here comes the requirement to reform. Reform is another word for innovation, you can say. So what reforms are needed that we can bridge? And when we talk of the gap, it's not only social sciences, it is almost in everything, even in pure sciences. even in engineering, even in medicine, even in pharmacy. Everywhere there is a gap. A number of years ago, I read a newspaper, news was their coverage, interview with the vice chancellor of Delhi University, who said his own experience of in one of the campus interviews for their final year graduates. Many MNCs, representatives came from Delhi, from Bombay, flew to Delhi for interviews, and they interviewed 1,000 graduating students. And at the end of the interviews, you know how many they selected? 3. And they told to the VC that, sir, we are not going to come back to your university anymore. If this is the outcome, 3 out of 1,000 are employable, why should we come here and waste our time? That's what he himself said. It was published in newspaper. So why there is gap and how do we bridge that gap? This is the first question that we all should think, what innovations, what changes should take place. Now, other countries also, they don't have 100%, output. We are all almost in the same boat. If ours was 3 out of 1,000, maybe other places it will be 20 out of 1,000, or maybe 500 out of 1,000, whatever you like to take it, but it is never as desirable as it should be. Yeah, next one. So there is another aspect of innovation that NEP is telling us. The key overall thrust of curriculum and pedagogy reform. So here they're talking of, first was the bigger picture. Now they talk of where we should create reform, curriculum reform. But unless curriculum has an effective pedagogy, it's not going to achieve the aims. The key overall thrust of curriculum and pedagogy reform across all stages will be to move the education system towards real understanding. I love this word, understanding. And that is what is missing, unfortunately, from many students. They repeat for you whatever is there in the book, but understanding, especially the concepts. We fail in understanding the concepts. That's why we cannot apply them. And learning how to learn. Another problem, learning how to learn, and away from the culture of rote learning as is present today. The NEP has attested, yes, now we are involved only with rote learning. And beloved students of social sciences, if we don't come out of this habit, we cannot become change makers. And today we're going to discuss a little bit about that. How do we come out of that habit? Do we need some skills? How do we really leave behind? And how do we become learners, as NEP says? Yeah, next, please. So one example the NEP gives, as I say, the teaching of all languages. Anybody from languages here? Marathi, Hindi, English? All right, that also comes under. You are, oh, thank you. What? English, great. So they give example of teaching of all languages will be enhanced through innovative and experiential methods. All right, they want innovative methods. They want experiential. I don't know how many of you are familiar with experiential methods, but these are methods that you experience something from which you learn. If we get time, we talk about it later. There are varieties of ways of experiential methods, which is not only for languages. I'm very happy they have put language because that is one of the difficult areas, but they have put it. You can have experiential method in learning pure sciences, in learning all the aspects of social sciences, such as gamification and apps, and by weaving into the cultural aspects of the languages. With language comes culture. With the teaching, learning of various subjects, and with real life experiences through films, theater, and storytelling. Our dear friend from English,
I hope you have theater in your English classes. Do you have theater? Do you have dramas? Do you act dramas? We don't have. All right. Now, a question to you all. Can business communication be done through theater and dramas?
Yes, we can.
We can, absolutely we can. We have something called Happy Hippo Show in the Baha'i Academy, which we can do for even business communication. I hope that you'll be able to introduce it. Art and music, local literature, etc. Thus, the teaching of languages will also be based on the experiential learning pedagogy. Yes. Now, higher education must form the basis of knowledge creation and innovation. Now, many of us are almost at the end of our education. Maybe we are in the final year of the, college or postgraduate or doing PhDs or whatever. But then we should ask a question that, how much knowledge have I created? And is the knowledge which I have, is it my own knowledge or is it a repetition of what others have told me? So how do we empower our students and ourselves to generate new knowledge? That's what NEP wants. So generation of new knowledge is not only an objective for the PhDs, no, it's objective all through all the levels of education. Yeah, we can go to before we go, they talk below of cooperative communities and a happier, cohesive, cultural, productive, innovative, progressive, and prosperous nation. Now, this itself is a topic for one separate workshop that we should talk about each of these, that how does our nation become prosperous and what do we understand by prosperity? Is it only how much more we earn, or is prosperity having other aspects which balance it out? Yes. Then they talk about, now we are talking only in the context of innovation, where all NEP wants to have reforms and innovation. They talk about community engagement. That's what we usually say, extension activities. They're using the word now, community engagement. How can community engagement be innovative? How can our social projects that we have become innovative? Can social project be only sweeping project? Is it a tree plantation project? What can be innovative projects related to thermodynamics if you're a student of engineering? What about the business communication? What about psychology? What about law? Can't they have all variety of community engagements? And the society needs all of them. So how do we become innovative in the community engagements? We recently had a course for a group of law students from Sangli, Karad, and Kolhapur. And when they reached to this, you can't believe such beautiful projects, so innovative. They all came up, some doing alone, some doing in groups. They talk about environmental education, value-based education. These are all the places where innovation is necessary. That's what the Baha'i Academy has been trying for the past 23 years, how we can bring innovation in value education, innovation in pedagogy, innovation in social engagement. Lessons in seva or service and participation in community service programs will also be considered an integral part of holistic arts education. So service is an integral part of education. And when we talk of service, it's not just a mechanical activity to go and do, but it is an attitude of service also that has to be created. What is the ultimate aim of us going to college and university? What do you want to achieve? Is it only for a better package? Is it only for a placement? Or is it something higher than that, to become of service to humanity? So these are the things that now have been noticed. Yes, next one. And then say, higher education institutions, as part of multidisciplinary education, will focus on research and innovation by setting up startup incubation centers. There are many of them now. Perhaps you have one also at your college here. Technology development centers, centers in frontier areas of research, and interdisciplinary research, including humanities, social sciences. Yes, so they are talking of innovative teaching, research, and service. And they say that best universities in the world show that the best teaching and learning processes at the higher education level occur in environments where there is also a strong culture of research, as beautifully the principal sir mentioned, Kamle sir, that teaching without research, just you wonder how can it happen? If a teacher is not a researcher, how will he teach? So definitely, this is what the colleges in the forefront of higher education in the world are doing. Yes. Yes, next. Sorry, we'll skip some of them because there's less time. We next, yes, please. No, you have gone back. Please go forward. Yeah, okay. Now, one of the Dutch, philosophers has identified 10 different areas where social research, social science innovations can take place: sociocultural, socio-political, ideological, ethical, and so on and so forth. Yeah, next. Yes, now we go to the big question of how to innovate. Yes, you define innovation in a nice way, but can you also give a clue? How do we innovate? Okay, let me tell you. Yeah, I'll come to you after a minute. Let me request you, you can talk to the person next to you, all right? Put your minds together and see whether you can come up with some good way of innovation. So we'll have some 30 seconds for discussion across your seats, 3 people, 2 people together, and then let's see whether we get some ideas of how to innovate, all right? So just 30 seconds, please discuss. All right. We had one pair here who were engaged in discussion, and the 2 ladies, and the 2 ladies over there, and then we come to you here. So would you like to share any conclusion? You can, yes, you and your friend. Did you come to any conclusion how to innovate? Maybe by thinking in a creative way. Wonderful, wonderful. Creativity is the heart of innovation. Absolutely. Yes. Very good. As per the field, what is required in that field. You innovate what is required, not what is not required. All right, that's a good key point. Yes, the 2 ladies in orange saris, you were discussing, would you like to say? All right, maybe discussing something else. Yeah, please. Yes, of course, to create new ideas. And how do you do it? In a creative way.
New production methods.
Okay, so your mind goes to production. All right, wonderful. Yes, would you like to say, please?
For the innovation, if you want to reach to the innovation personally or with the groups, so we need the research.
Excellent. Through research. Yes, of course. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, research is a very good, one of the very good ways of innovation. All right, let's go to the next slide, see if we get something here. You know, Roger Martin, a wonderful, writer, he has written a book called The Design of Business. And then he, of course, talks in the context of industry and business, but we have got to learn a lot about from what he says in the field of social sciences also. He says he offers two models of value creation. Now, that is innovation, when you add some values to something. So he says there are two ways, basically, two broad methods of value creation. He says first is analysis. It uses analytical thinking. That's what we all have been trained from in our education system. At least I hope so, to be analytical. That's at least higher than just rote learning, you know. That is deduction reasoning and induction reasoning. All right, so you see many things happening, you make a conclusion that, okay, these all should be like. You take 10 glasses of water from the ocean, all are salty. You say, okay, so the water of ocean is salty. That's what you drive conclusion. Or you have a hypothesis, and then you go on and you prove it. So it is either deductive or inductive method to find truth. It involves a continually repeated and analytical processes, all based on data. So that is the first way of value creation. You use data to create values. That's what mostly the people do in industry and in other things. But there's a second method also. He says it is intuitive. This model is based on creativity, as you said, and innovation. That is using your intuition. Intuitive thinking is the art of knowing without reasoning. You feel it's like that. You cannot prove it, but you feel it. The world of originality and invention. I always like to use the example of the brothers who invented aeroplane. What was their name? Wright brothers. All right. Do you think, did they have intuition before invention, or they all did it analytically? It was all intuition. They felt, yes, man can fly, and man should fly, and man will fly, and they made it possible to fly. So intuition, that inner, call that comes from within us, tells us that's what we should do. As soon as you start analyzing and using consumer research, you will drive all creativity out of the product. That's what Roger Martin thinks. Even thinking of the products, consumer products, he says, don't depend only on analytical data. Use your intuition to become creative. So these are the two methods that he has recommended in his. If you don't have this book in your library, I suggest you get it. It's very interesting. We are going to refer to a few more points in this presentation. Next one. Then the vice chairman of a leading, American company said, no good product was ever created from quantitative market research. Great products spring from the heart and soul of a great designer. So the philosophy is creative instinct. We have many instincts in us. Creativity is also one of the instincts which are within us. that can be nurtured, like any other capacity that can be nurtured. Creativity can be nurtured also. Of course, in the present education system, there's very little room for creativity because it is all fixed jackets. You have to memorize, you have to remember, you have to complete this syllabus. Now, thank God we are moving towards, a little away from that fixed jackets. He says the unanalyzed flash of insight, that the ability to understand inner qualities and relationships, is a source of true innovation. Sometimes when you are closing your eyes and thinking, some people call it meditation, whatever you like to call it, you can. Suddenly a light flashes in your mind. The answer comes to you. And he says, yes, this is what can be productive. We don't want to talk about meditation here, but meditation is one of the faculties and powers that we have. It's not only power of memory, that is not only physical power, it is not only emotional power that we have. Another power that we have is power of meditation, to solve complicated issues, matters, challenges. So many scientists found their answers through meditation, So it is not a sort of superstitious ritual to engage in. No, it's not like that. People feel it is like this, but it is not. Even you can run the governments smoothly by the help of meditation. You can become a much better social scientist, a much better teacher, a much better administrator by using meditation. So that, of course, we have to learn how to meditate. What does it mean? How do we meditate? Which can result into discovery of the mysteries, of the secrets that we have in life. Yes, next slide, please. We need analytical mastery. So that analysis techniques that we have hopefully been taught during our education, we need that one. Plus intuitive originality. So our intuition should also be nurtured, creativity be nurtured. Plus dynamic interplay. They both have to interplay. They have to work together. Then it comes to design thinking or moving along the knowledge funnel. So he says, innovation comes when the knowledge passes through a knowledge funnel. So I have made a funnel and brought here for you, and we'll try to put our knowledge into this funnel. Let's see what emerges. All right. So can my friend please help to? That's what he says. I think next slide will be the same funnel over. Yes. The knowledge funnel that he considers to be a funnel for creation of innovation, of solving our difficult problems, has 3 stages. First is the mystery stage. The first level of understanding, exploration of the mystery. We are going to do little exercise later on. Are you, of course, I need your participation. If you are ready, we'll do it. Should we do it? Yes. All right, should we? Police is okay. Chalega, thank you. All right, you will enjoy it. So first is the mystery part, to explore the mystery. Second level is understanding or heuristic. That is when we evaluate the mystery and we get educated about it. We simplify it, we refine it. And third level is algorithm, where the formula is emerged, where the answer is found. The third level of understanding is algorithm, which is organized exploration of the possibilities to get an explicit step-by-step procedure for solving the problem. So innovation begins with the mystery. And when we say mystery, it could be the question that we have. Can we go to the next slide, please? Yes, let us try to explore. Exploration of mystery can happen through any question or questions of concern to you. Now, I hope that most of us are from social sciences, so we are concerned with innovation in social sciences. One example is as follows. The question which we discussed before. Where is a gap between the current state of learning outcomes and what is desirable? That's a question that NEP has put to us. But where is that gap? If there is a gap between what is desired from social sciences, but is what is we actually get, then why there is a gap? What are other questions you can ask about the same issue? The questions you wish to ask with respect to innovation in social sciences. Now I request you to take out your notepads and please write as many questions which really bother you about the gap which is there between the desirable and the theoretical outcome, what it should be. Why there is. Don't give the answers, but put the questions. You can have many questions in the areas of curriculum, pedagogy, projects, social engagement, training, placement, applications, research. All right? Please write on your notepad. And when you write, leave some space in between each two questions. All right, we want to do something with it. And you make 2 copies. 1 copy I will collect from you, and 1 copy will save with you because we want to do some more exercise on it. Should we do it? Please put as many questions as you can. Could be just 1, could be 2, could be 20, no problem. So we'll take maybe 2 minutes time is okay? Yeah? Is all right, Bole sir? 2 minutes to write questions. Please start writing. Why there is a gap between the current state of learning outcomes and what is desired.
You also want you to write their name as well?
No, no need. No, we don't need the names. No need for your names. You can just write your questions. And if you're writing more than 1 question, please leave some gaps in between. Maybe 2 lines gap in between. I guess, oh, not everybody has paper? Oh, I thought everybody must have paper and pen. Maybe notepads you don't have? So you don't have. पेपर ज्यादा लगता है, एक 50 पीस पाहिजे. As I said, please make 2 copies
of your questions. No need to write your name. You can write even in Hindi, Marathi, no problem. You know, unless we ask questions, we cannot become innovative. So that is the first step of innovation and creativity, especially critical questions. Especially dear teachers, I want really your questions are very, very important. And of course, the dear students, because you give a different perspective to the question. Their teachers give a different perspective to the questions. Okay. How many of us have got at least one question on your papers? Please raise your hand. If you have at least one paper, one question, raise your hand. I want to see how many questions we could have had. 1, 2, 3. Only 3, 4. Okay. 5. Now, please write. Please write. You know, whoever writes one or two, just put up your hand a little bit so I know that more questions have been generated. Okay. Any more? Okay, that's good. Any more questions? All right. You have some questions? Okay, yeah, just show your hand so I know that we have got enough questions now to proceed. I think some of you are started writing an essay. No, we just want short questions. No, yes, because they're deeply involved in writing. Just short questions are enough. Only one sentence, even could be, yes, shorter than that, no problem. Oh yeah, they should fill it up, otherwise no marks. No, it's not going to be marked. All those who have got written some questions, raise your hand. Let me see. Have we got at least 10?
जरा हाथ दिखाइए प्लीज, हाथ ऊपर करके। 1 2 नहीं, बहुत कम है। तो फिर ये विषय को कैसा हम आगे जाएंगे इनोवेशन के बारे में? हाँ, I tell you, no question is wrong. All the questions are right. So please write it. No problem. All your questions are genuine and they are very valuable. So you can just write it. No problem. Okay. Now, I hope you are writing in 2 copies. Yeah? One for you, one for me. Now, there is something else to do before you give your question papers here. Can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah. Now, your question may relate to any of these areas. For example, curriculum-related questions. You're putting some question on the curriculum. Your question may be related to teaching learning processes. Perfect. Maybe institutional support-related question, you know, because many institutions look down upon social sciences. Maybe it's related to research. Perfect. Or it's students and parents perceptions, you know. Often social science is the last option of their parents. First medical, then engineering, then this, then ask nothing, teach it to arts paro. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe you have a question about that. Maybe career development related, because the students want big fat salaries, packages. So they're not going to get anything by studying history, for example. Sorry, what happened? Yes. Employability related question. So if your question relates to any one of those, if it is curriculum related question, you please write A against your question. If you have 4 questions related to any of these, mark it agree. A could be, B could be teaching learning processes. If it is institutional support, write C. If it is research related, write D. If it's a students-pair relationship, write E. Career development, write F. Employability, write G. If there is something apart from these, you can write H, no problem. If it is not under any of these, all right? Please mark it quickly, and then you can fold your paper and come and put it in this funnel. Yeah, please mark it and put it in this funnel. आइए। Thank you. I'm so thankful to you for your cooperation. I think by your questioning, the innovation has already started. Thank you. Thank you. है क्वेश्चन? हाँ दे दीजिए, है आपके पास? लाइए लाइए, प्लीज ले आइए. Anybody else? Any question is lying with you? Oh, wonderful. So we got so many questions, so many questions. I'm really delighted to have so many questions. So that means we are serious about the issue of innovation in social sciences. All right, wonderful. So now we are through with the first level of innovation, of value addition, and that is asking our mystery questions for which we really want to find the answer. Then what? Yes, madam, please come, दे दीजिए. और है क्या? और किसी के पास है? Anybody else would like to give question? Yes. Now what is next? Next slide. Okay. So you put your slips in the upper compartment of the knowledge funnel. You have already put it. Let's go to the next one. Now we move to next compartment of the funnel, which is heuristic. So this is the heuristic compartment of the funnel. Now your questions should go there. How will it go? Heuristic, here we try to get educated about the mystery by evaluating it, narrowing the field of inquiry, and working the mystery down to a manageable size. Now your questions may be very, vast aspects you are addressing, variety of it. Now you cannot address all of them at a time, You cannot be innovative for 50 questions which are put to you here. Then we have to do something about it. Here we get an incomplete but more evaluated understanding of what is the mystery. So now we want to take it to one step further to get a little better understanding of the questions that you have put. This will guide us to solutions through organized exploration of the possibilities, which comes in the third part. Can we see next step? All right, so now let us narrow down the field of inquiry. So now I'll manage all your questions to be filtered and go to the next funnel. All right. Yeah, please bring it. So one of the easy ways to take the whole exercise to next step is to classify them. For example, put all the questions related to curriculum together and so on and so forth. All right, your questions came down in a classified manner. We have 6 different types of questions which you have put. All right, there are some of them related to each of these areas. Let's go next question, next slide. Now moving along the knowledge funnel to algorithm. Now how will we go to the third step, which is algorithm and working out the formula to solve the problem. Algorithm is an explicit step-by-step procedure for solving a problem. Algorithms take disorganized heuristic and simplify, structurize, and codify them to the degree that anyone with access to the algorithm can deploy it with almost equal efficiency. Here, hence, as the understanding advances from mystery to heuristic to algorithm, the complexities of the world are mastered through refinement and simplification. Think now how immature phenomenon of the falling objects led to the concept of a universal force of gravity and a formula to describe it. What now we take it for granted about the force of gravity. It was a puzzling question for several centuries till Newton could resolve it and develop the algorithm for it. Yes, next one. Of course, not every mystery can become an algorithm. You may not find a formula for solving every question. Not all logic can be pushed through the end of the funnel to the end. For example, how can musical notes and rhythms be arranged to have deep effect on our emotions and calm the listeners? You may never find a universal answer that applies to everybody as far as the effect of suppose musical notes are concerned. Next. So, is there any technique to proceed? Now that we have classified the questions, we have simplified them, is there a technique to go ahead and find an answer, a formula for the answer? Yes. Next. Here we come to what we call lateral thinking. How many of you have heard of lateral thinking? Anybody knows it? All right, no problem. Now we'll learn about it a little bit together. You know, Einstein said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. We have to change the thinking. And then further he said, if I had an hour to resolve a problem, I would spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about the solution. So first comes understanding of the problem more and more deeply before we can jump into finding solutions. I think we usually go immediately to the solution before we really explore the problem. So that is the first technique, to explore the problem, to understand it deeply. The point he makes is important. Preparation has great value to problem solving. And what is any task worth doing but a problem to be solved? All right, so we need to think deeply, understand the problem more deeply. Yes, next one. Now, when we talk of lateral thinking, it is in contrast to analytical thinking. It is solving problems through an indirect and creative approach using reasoning that is not immediately obvious and involving ideas that may not be obtainable by using only traditional step-by-step logic. That's what we are used to. We analyze step by step, we proceed towards the solution. This is not lateral thinking. Edward de Bono, he was the one who created this term. There are books from him. I suggest you should really read them. Don't worry about being right or wrong. No, there is not. I told you all your questions are good. There's no wrong question. So please write. So don't worry about being right or wrong. You could avoid all the mistakes in driving by leaving the car in the garage. If you're afraid of mistake, then you can leave your car in the garage. Don't drive it. So there's no mistake in lateral thinking. Yes, next. Now he says, there is something called vertical thinking or analytical thinking. That's what we usually do. Moving forward by sequential steps, each of which must be justified, is immensely useful. Don't say that we are criticizing it. No, it's useful. But one needs to enhance its usefulness by adding creativity and tempering its rigidity. Whereas lateral thinking is the process of using information to bring about creativity and insight restructuring. How we look at the problem should be first restructured. That's what Einstein said. You can't solve the problem with the same thinking that you created it. You have to restructure it. Lateral thinking is closely related to insights, creativity, and humor. Let me ask a question, see how many of you can give the answer. It needs lateral thinking. Now it says that one mother had 2 boys, identical, born at the same time, in the same place, on the same date. But they are not twins. Then what are they? Cannot. Sorry. Yeah, but usually the two boys who are at the same time born, two girls, you call them twins, but they are not twins. Yeah? That's not possible. All right. Anybody else has a possible answer? Coincidence, but they were born. No, they were not twins. They were triplets. There were three of them together. Twins are two, but there are three of them. So they're triplets. So they are not, they are not twins. All right. So let's see next slide. Now, in lateral thinking, one uses information not for its own sake, but for its effect. In lateral thinking, one may have to be wrong at some stage in order to achieve a correct solution. So we don't think about, no, it is impossible. It cannot be like that. This way we go is wrong. In lateral thinking, at least thinking, we allow it. Okay, let us think. In vertical thinking, which is all about logic, mathematics, data, vagare, vagare, this would be impossible. In lateral thinking, one may deliberately seek out irrelevant information. You say, the students did not turn up for the examination. Wow, what's the usual question you ask? Lateral thinking will ask different question. Was it raining that day, for example? Or, I don't know. In lateral thinking, one may deliberately seek out irrelevant information. In vertical thinking, one selects out only what is relevant. So, vertical thinking is a selective process. You select what you want, the information that you want, and you build upon it. In lateral thinking, no. You actually generate more and more information, more and more questions, because you want to find something which is not very much analytical. It is something creative. Next. Our mind creates patterns. You remember we talked about patterns? That is the system. Our mind is a pattern-making system. The mind functions to create patterns out of its surroundings. Once the patterns are formed, it becomes possible to be recognized, to recognize them, to react to them, to use them. As the patterns are used, they become ever more firmly established. Can any one of you suggest any pattern which your mind has created? Some information that your mind has put it into a pattern. No problem. We'll go ahead. When you get it, please say. The pattern using system is very efficient way of handling information. Yeah. When you hear some word, it relates immediately to a pattern which is created in your mind, and you can handle information. Yes. 26th of January, all right, offices are closed. Nobody goes there. People are at home. It's a day for maybe having some social activities. I don't know, whatever. Once established, the patterns form a sort of code. The advantages of a code system is that instead of having to collect all the information, one collects just enough to immediately to identify the code pattern, which is then called forth even as library books. You know, you code them. This shelf is physics. So all the books of physics. So you code the information in your mind. So your mind is not just a mixture of all the information together. That's what happens even in computer. No, you have folders, subfolders. Yeah. In the mobile, yes, of course, yes. These are mini computers. So the same thing happens with our brains. We create patterns. Yes, we go to next slide. Although a patterning system has great usefulness, it has certain limitations too. It does not allow us to become so creative because it is fixed in that pattern. In such a system, it is easy to combine patterns or to add to them, but it is extremely difficult to restructure them for the patterns controlled attention. Insight and humor both involve restructuring of patterns. So when you use humor, you restructure the pattern, which is, that's why you start laughing, because that normal pattern in your mind is now challenged, is now broken. Creativity also involves restructuring. See, so humor and creativity, they are related to each other, and insight, they are related to each other, because you restructure the patterns which are in your mind. Lateral thinking involves restructuring, escape, and the provocation of new patterns. So through lateral thinking, you create new patterns, yeah? Now, creativity is too often only description of a result, but lateral thinking is the process. One of you said about the process? Yes, that is what lateral thinking is about. And generation of new ideas. Yes, we go to next slide. Now, lateral thinking happens by looking in a different way. Liberation from old ideas, we become liberated from old ideas, and stimulation of the new ones. Lateral thinking is generative, vertical thinking is selective, as I said before. Yeah, next. Now, lateral thinking enhances the efficiency, effectiveness of vertical thinking. And in vertical thinking, you use it to dig the hole deeper. You can't go deep and deep and deep into the hole. Lateral thinking, rather than digging the same hole, says, okay, let us dig a new hole. All right? Rather than going deeper in the same hole. Yes, next. So the summary is, we should always make less than the best use of available information. Unless we know how to create new patterns and escape from the dominance of the old ones. So here comes the question of concept patterns. It's not just technological things, but concept patterns. And there are skills related to lateral thinking skills. Yeah, we go to next one, as vertical thinking has its skills. So what are the disadvantages in the lateral thinking? We discussed they become rigid. We cannot break the boundaries, and then we cannot use them very easily. Yes. And if we see a pattern similar to that, we think this is the standard, that cannot be right. The purpose of lateral thinking is to overcome these limitations and putting information in a new way to get a new ideas. Yes, next. Now, humor and insight. Now, as we said before, if the pattern arrangement is changed temporarily, it creates humor. And if it is permanently, it creates insight. Now, let us look at this question. A policeman was seen walking along the main street, pulling a piece of string. A policeman is pulling a piece of string along the street. Do you think why he was pulling the piece of string? Why do you think he was pulling the piece of string? I want you to use your lateral thinking. What is the analytical thinking answer to this question? Why the policeman was pulling a string along the road? No idea? You was a policeman, no? All right, that's good. And you know what is a string? And why the policeman pulls a string along the road? Maybe he wants to close the way. Yeah, that's a logical thinking. Anything else? That is one way of thinking. He wanted to close the road, so he was pulling a string.
Or maybe there is something strong or accident. So you want to.
Yes, quite right, quite right. These are all logical answers. Protecting the area, yes, you are right. To find the evidence of something that has happened. Sorry, there was a problem on the road. Yeah, so these are all analytical thinking, which is logical. Now, can you give some answers which is using your lateral thinking? The policeman is pulling a string along the roadside. Any lateral thinking answer? Okay, maybe it's on this next slide. Because you cannot push a piece of a string. So he has to pull it only. All right. So that's what lateral thinking works. So we come out of the fixed mindset of the logical answers, but think lateral. Let me ask another question. A man fell from the roof of a tall building. When he passed by the 50th floor, he was heard saying something. What do you think he was saying? Maybe give answers, logical thinking. What do you think the man fell down from 70th floor? He passed by 50th floor. They heard him saying something. What could he say? Sorry? Save me. All right. Very logical. Yeah. Anything else? No, only save me. That's what he was pleading. It's just 50. Okay. This was lateral thinking, sir. Thank you. Yes. So go to the next slide. He said, so far, so good. That is the lateral thinking. Going to crash, but so far, so good. Okay, that's fine. So humor and insights are characteristics of this type of information. Information handling system. Changing pattern arrangement. So our pattern arrangement is, save me, come on, put something down, I'm coming, I'm dying. That is the thinking pattern. But then this fellow says, oh, so far so good. All right. Next. Now, difference between lateral thinking and vertical. Vertical is selective. Lateral is about richness of thinking. Vertical clearly defines the direction. Lateral, you generate new direction. So when we are going to talk about, suppose, innovation in curriculum of social sciences, we don't want those which are clearly defined directions. No, we are not, it will not be innovative. We want generate a new direction in, for example, curriculum development or in teaching learning methodology or whatever is your question. Next. In vertical thinking, one must be correct at every step. But in the lateral thinking, conclusion should be right. Look at these two, the picture which is put there. This is the picture of how a bridge is made. You know, when you make a bridge, not every stone can be self-supporting. No? If you remove the support which is below it, all of them will fall down. But then you put the last piece in place, then everything holds each other. So lateral thinking is like that. In between, you may be able to challenge many suggestions, many things which they say, it cannot stand, it is not possible, it cannot be done. But when the final piece is put in place, oh, Everything's holding each other. So we should not worry when we have lateral thinking. Oh, why she's talking irrelevant? Why he's saying useless? Why? No, we allow it. So see, brainstorming, friends, is one of the ways of generating lateral thinking ideas. So when you are in a gathering of brainstorming, we should not try to assess every point which is said. No, accept them, write them down. Because finally, the final piece may come into place and may fix it. So we don't judge every suggestion in lateral thinking. We allow it to generate, to come. Next, please. So in vertical thinking, you select by exclusion. No, this cannot be done, that cannot be done. Forget it, forget it, forget it. You exclude the ways. But in lateral thinking, you welcome outside influence. Oh, this is a different way of thinking. It is such a great fun to be with the people who have lateral thinking. When you have a problem, you pose on them, and people are laterally thinking. It's such a great fun to see really how different perspectives can address the same problem. In vertical, you think of the most likely paths. In lateral thinking, you explore the least likely parts. With vertical thinking, one uses information for its own sake, whereas in lateral thinking, you use information not for its own sake, but provocatively in order to bring about repatterning. Next. Yes, now you try to create as many alternatives as possible. So it's good when you are engaged in lateral thinking, you put a quota. All right, these are problem, how to, for example, bridge the gap which is in the curriculum of social sciences. Okay, we want at least 50 ideas. So you put a quota, because usually the first few ideas are very general, as you always hear, but you put it 50. Then you will see that, okay, now new things keep coming. So you put a quota that you want this many number of ideas to come. Next. Now look at this exercise. You have paper with you. Okay, you draw this shape on your paper, and then you generate different ways of unfolding this figure. How can you make this figure? Please try to see how many ways you find. Nothing will happen. Just take out your paper, draw this figure, and see in how many different ways you can generate this figure. That is just a lateral thinking exercise. Maybe you find just one more way, maybe you find 3 more ways. See how many ways are there to generate this. Anybody has got more than one way? Just put up your hand if you have got more than one way to generate it. You got one. How many ways you got? 2 more ways. Oh, that's wonderful. Anybody else? Anybody has got one way, at least one more way to generate? If you have, just show your hand. I know how many of you could find one more way. No? Only she could find 2 more ways. Can you bring your paper here? Please come up. Wow, you have actually generated one. So this was the original shape. Now, how do you generate it? All right. So that means You had one rectangle, you cut these pieces from it, and you generated this shape. All right, this is good. Any other way? Yeah, but you will not get this shape because this shape is, oh, okay. And then you cut below us. All right, very good. Thank you. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Anybody else? Just go to next slide, sir, please. Yeah, see, these are all different ways you can do. For example, A is a triangle sitting on a rectangle. You get that shape. So in that shape, you see both a triangle and a rectangle. That's how you can think of this shape. Here, a square with two upper corners missing. That's what she did. What's your good name? Nadia. Shazia, yes. Dear Shazia did it. She cut two triangles from a square. She got that shape. That's true. Now here, see, two halves of a rectangle put side by side. And fourth one, D, end view of a house. So that's how you can visualize different ways it can be created, you know. So it's a problem does not have only one solution. There can be many, many different ways. Next slide, please. Okay, what about this one? Now describe this figure. What do you think how this figure is constructed? Anybody wants to answer, just put up your hand, you can answer. Yeah, please say. No, not yet. All right. How do you construct this? Yes. It looks like a building, top view of a building. Okay, all right. Yes, it's a top view of a building. That's right. Anything else? Huh? Yes. It's an L. All right, you see an L here. Yes, that's correct. White. A missing white L. Yes, it's true. Okay. You have gone too far. I know there was no other seat after that. Otherwise, you have sat there. You're the last. Yes, you are right. You are right. Very creative. Anything else? How do you construct this? How do you describe this? You try to see this shape in different ways. See, that's how then your lateral thinking, you know, skills increase. Step. Who said the step? Yes, you are right. A step it is, yes. But I don't want you to say what you see. You describe how you build it. How do you make it? It can be a step, yeah, but how do you make it? Sorry? Holding one corner of this paper, matlab? Folding? Okay, then how do you make it? If they fold one corner of the paper? Okay. Oh, all right. Oh, a paper back is white, front is black, and then you fold it, it becomes, oh, very interesting. Okay, nice, nice. So you see actually two sides of the paper. All right, go to the next slide. Yes, now these are alternatives. Could be an L shape, could be a carpenter's angle. All right, angle, okay, this is upside down. A gallows upside down. They use for hanging people, just put it upside down. Half a picture frame. Picture frame has four sides. This is half of it. Two rectangle placed on a on or against the other. A large rectangle with a smaller rectangle subtracted. So there are so many answers to one question, no? So let us find out multiple answers to the mystery question, which has come down. No, we had mystery questions of different things. We are going to read them later at home. But these, now you look at the mystery question from different perspectives. So generate new ideas that can lead to innovation. Next slide. Now, how do you describe this picture?
you all may see different things. You just look at it for a few seconds, then put up your hand, please, and say, what do you see? Yes. Wow. Yeah, please use the microphone. Yeah, all can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. If you look there to this photo or this picture from above, it will be look like a big city. Look like we looking from the sky, and there are many birds like that, or it's look like a chess.
Okay, very good. So you use a view of a city from above or a chessboard. All right. Anything else you see? It's a street. We see a street. Yes. Which one? Sorry? Oh, he can see black birds and white birds. Yes, he is right. Opposite directions. Yeah. There's a bridge. There's a bridge. Yes, she is right. Yes. Sorry? Farms. You see farms here. Oh, yeah, these are farmlands. You are right. Yes. Anything else you describe? Yes, black birds, white birds. Yeah. Sky. You see the sky. Yeah, okay. Yeah, without a sky, where do they fly? There should be a sky. You're right.
A reciprocal?
Reciprocal?
Yeah.
Reciprocal, yes. Oh, he says these are bird shadows. That's what he says. These are not birds, actually. They are the shadows which have fallen on the ground. Very interesting. Yes? It is? Inverse picture. They are mirror image of each other, according to you. Yeah? Oh my God, what a philosophical answer. Yes, he can see here the interplay between day and night, light and darkness. See, just, yes. Wow, so this is a wonderful society and this is a dislocated society. Bad and good. Yes, so day and night, he's now putting it in terms of goodness and badness. Goodness as light, badness as dark and black. So you see, friends, one picture, we came up with at least 10 different ways of looking at it. Let us do that. When we have a mystery question, look at that with that open mind to see really what is it. And don't worry about you may be wrong. No, talk about it. So that is how we can exercise our lateral thinking. These are just, of course, pictures for the sake of exercise, but you can have these are real questions. What we have put here are the real questions. And I don't know, maybe sometime we should have a different workshop to really start talking of this. If the college is really serious about innovation in social sciences, that's what we should do. We should put all these questions together, pick them up, subject by subject, look at them, see what are the innovative ways that we can bridge the gap which the NEP has told us. Yeah, I think these are, is it last question, last slide? Just please go to this one. Okay, so there is also one more aspect is there that we should, in lateral questions, lateral thinking, please don't take assumptions for granted. They may be wrong. Say we assumed that the two children who are identical, they have to be twins. That was an assumption, but proved to be wrong. So
we should not take assumptions. There are many assumptions, means the beliefs behind a question. So in lateral thinking, you can even challenge those questions, those assumptions. That's what we do in lateral. I'll just go fast because now let me ask you a question. Now you see here how our assumptions could be wrong. A landscape gardener is given instruction to plant 4 special trees so that each one is the same distance from each of the others, equidistance. How would you arrange the trees? 4 trees, but each one should be equal distance from the other 3. Square, but then the diagonal will be longer than the side. Any correct answer we get, we'll get a golden medal by the chairman of the session. Sir? Yes? Okay. 3 triangle, 1 in the center. Yeah, those 3 will be at the center, will be shorter distance from the other 3. Yeah? We want equal distance. All the 4 trees should have equal distance. Yes. Huh? Circle? How? What circle? Okay, you draw a circle. See how do you get? Because you draw. So maybe you get. I don't know. I don't think you can get it. But you draw and see whether you get it. Because the problem is with the trees which are diagonally against each other. So that becomes longer. No. Here we cannot answer this question because of a wrong assumption which is in our mind. If that assumption we can challenge, the answer will be very easy. Let me ask any one of you to please describe the question, then we may find out what is wrong with our assumption. Anybody would like to describe the question? One of you, what you understood by the question? Madam, you are handiest person. Can you please describe the question? बताइए क्या पूछ रहे हैं question? Microphone भी आपका पास है देखो तो आप बोलो. You are waiting for the chance to speak. So बताइए please. We have only 1 minute left.
How the trees are to be planted, having same distance from each other.
Where? Where to be planted?
Of course, in the garden.
Of course, in the garden. So that is her assumption. All right, that's number 1. Anything else?
Because it is said that it's a landscape gardener. So
He's a landscape gardener.
Yeah.
Okay, but
So
does it
he's
say choose in a garden? Okay, fine. So your assumption. Okay, it's a garden. Fine. Any other assumption you have? What do you visualize in your mind about this garden? Can you describe that garden?
Yeah, there's an open space. All other plants have been already planted.
Okay.
And only some space is remaining for all those special trees.
All right, very good. Anybody else can describe that garden? The problem may be there. Yes, please.
In the corner of the garden.
In the corner of the garden.
Usually a lamp has 4 corners.
Okay.
So if we plant the trees in the corner, we might have planted in the same.
Okay, so one more assumption he said. Usually the land has 4 corners. Okay, so that's an assumption which may not be correct here, but it is how you visualize. But if you plant in 4 corners, then those which are across, the distance will be more, no? We want the distance of all 4 other information should be the same.
I have one of the ideas.
Yes, sir.
2 plants in one and 2 separate.
But will the distance be same?
It says each one.
The same distance from each of the others. So,
2 plants planted together.
okay, okay. Mhm.
2 separate in a triangle.
I think the question is asking that it should be each tree from the other tree should be same distance. 4. Plant 4 trees.
But the process is not given.
No. But do you get equal distance of all of them from each other? You should get equal. As long as you get equal distance, no problem. Yeah, there is a main problem with our assumption. That's why we cannot solve this problem. Now, if I show the next slide, you see that it is possible to solve it if that assumption is challenged. Yeah, next slide. Yeah. 90 degrees, no, see here. No, I think go back. Okay. All right. So the 4 plants, because the land, we assume it is a flat land. The land was not flat. It is like a hill. So you can put them like the Egyptian pyramids, the one on the top, 3 down, and you can have equal distance. All of them can have. So he said, sorry, I didn't understand. You said pyramid? Okay. You saw this. Very good. So you are a great lateral thinker, sir. No doubt you could solve our problem. Thank you. So, yeah. So here comes how we can actually also challenge the assumptions that we have. Sometimes we have to write down what we assume, because that is already their pattern of thinking. Garden means flat land, 4 corners, I don't know, whatever. Other flowers are there. Okay. We go to next slide. And I think this is what you are going to think about, because we don't have time, so we cannot really attend to this. But it says, now let us find alternative solutions to our mystery question, which we gave at the beginning. The mystery question was why there is a gap between the current state of learning outcomes and what is desirable. Now, those of you who are interested, you please write an essay, write 1 or 2 paragraphs, write your thoughts about it. It's just wonderful, you know, to think about. If you like, and also share it with me. I'll be very happy to go through your creative ideas, your innovative ideas. Maybe your thoughts will be useful for some other gathering of the friends, but please think about it. At least it's a good exercise for you to, you know, to increase your lateral thinking. I think this is the last slide, right? Is it the last one? Okay, these are references, no problem. Thank you so much for your participation. It was amazing to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for acquainting us with your valuable insights. May I now request Chairperson of today's first technical session, Honorable Dr. Sarang Bhola, sir, to remark his views on today's first technical session.
Good afternoon. Be assured I won't take much time, not more than 5 minutes. On the dais, Dr. Lezen Azadi. Off the dais, Dr. B.S. Sawan, Director of Institute, Dr. Mahanawar sir, delegates to this conference, delegates from India, delegates from abroad, and even delegates who have joined online, members of organizing committee, students, ladies and gentlemen. I really don't want to summarize what Dr. Lezen has just delivered. I just conveyed him that his enlightenment was not only scholarly presented, but it was really thought-provoking. We will all are passing through this national education policy, also popularly called as NEP, New Education Policy, wherein lot of innovations are going to be introduced. And we are really fixed, Dr. Lezen, that how we are going to take ahead all these innovations, all these expectations. But I think that your session has given a ray of hope that we should ponder a lot on the thinking. You talked about lateral thinking, you talk about the analytical thinking, And the way you have demonstrated the knowledge funnel, it's really an excellent idea, I believe. And we all academicians should come together. We should ponder on this. We should create as much questions as possible on different aspects, what he has shown. We should really take all these questions into this funnel. We should have the discussion.
Another funnel. This funnel I'm taking with
Yeah, sure. Even we require a big funnel as such,
big
because
funnel, maybe. That's good.
that is what we expect. And we can really go for the rounds of discussions, even probably debates. And I think debates are more important. And we should narrow down the number of questions which we can really take up for the implementation. Had it been done a little bit early, probably it would be more benefit or beneficial for me, because I remain a chairman of management board Shivaji University. If this experiment could have been done a little bit early, probably it would reap much benefit for me to design the structure and syllabi. But late is better than never. We can have this kind of experiments. I really don't want to steal the test what Dr. Lezen has given it to you, but I really want to add something on it. Now we are living in this yucca world. That is volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. Now, when I've invited to be a chairperson for your session, and I was told that you are going to talk on the innovations in social sciences, I was just pondering about the Levin's change model. Because last 10 years, a decade, we have been talking about different education models. 5 years back, we've been told to implement the CBCS kind of system, choice-based credit system. And the CBCS system has not yet been stabilized. And now we have been told to introduce the NEP. We have gone for that. But I'm really doubtful, since the academicians are there, my fellow colleagues from university, they are there. Probably next year, the UGC will tell us to implement some new kind of model. But in this variety of models, educational models, what I believe, Dr. Lezen, that the thought you have given of the lateral thinking and analytical thinking probably help us to take all these models ahead. No doubt in your initial stage, you have quoted many citations from NEP, wherein you also talked about the technology and people. That is very, very important, I believe. And the challenges are going from these two sectors, that is technology and people. I have some basic questions in my mind. Probably we can have a discussion later on that. Are we really going back to the roots? Earlier we had a customization. Now we went for standardization. Again, we are thinking about customization, especially in the light of this new education policy, wherein we have been told to introduce the online courses as well. The 40% of the courses are going to be online from MOOCs and SWAM, wherein probably we will have our own guru, we will have our own syllabus design system for individual things. So in that parlance, I'm talking about customization. Earlier, we had a Gurukul kind of system. Now, last 30, 40 years, we were passing through the Kulu Guru kind of system. And again, probably we are reverting back to the Gurukul kind of system, because again, we are having a choice to design my own curricula, to design my system, to design my learning processes, and probably I have a liberty to select my guru as well. Okay, so that kind of things are happening. But wonderful, Dr. Lezen. I think in the recent past, I have not heard this kind of scholarly talk. So thank you very much. Thank you to this organizing member, this principal of this college, members of organizing committee for being invited me to preside over this kind of technical session. It's really deemed to be an honor for me to be a chairman of this session. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with your words of wisdom and for chairing this session. At the end of this first technical session, may I now request Mr. A.S. Modi, Faculty of IT, to propose the vote of thanks of today's first technical session.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon to all. Thank you is just such a pair that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt by heart. I feel honored and privileged to get an opportunity to propose a vote of thanks in this special technical session of this international conference today. I would like to thank all the honorable delegates who blessed us with their presence in this session. I'm also very much thankful to all the session advisory committee members and the invited speakers. Words are not enough to thank their consents to guidance and support to shape the conference. On behalf of the organizing committee, convey deep regards and hearty thanks to our honorable chairperson, Dr. Sarang Bola, chairman of Board of Studies in Management of Shivaji University, the resource person, Dr. Laisin Azadi, director of Baha'i Academy, Panchkani, sir. If time is money, then today you have spent millions for us. Thank to all of you for making the session successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. With this, we conclude with our first session. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to begin with the second technical session. May I now request Ms. Vandana Pai, Faculty of Department of Commerce and Management, to introduce the second technical session and both the guest of honor and the chairperson.
Thank you for your participation.
Thank you, sir. It has